Capricorn, welcome back for your mid-month love reading. If you are needed to make a booking, the link is below. For the rest of you, welcome if you're new, and my tribe, hello. Okay, let's have a look at your energy read. Now, in your romance sector, I've picked the energy cards in a different manner. Now, I do have clarification for your love interest, what their element is, and there can be additional frequencies as to how they directly feel about you and how they're feeling. Also, what I'm looking at is your 3D sense, your 4D sense, and your 5D. So, bringing it all together so that we can have a gist of what's going on in the romance house. Now, at the 3D level, it may be you're currently not with your love interest, or that you're dealing with family-related dynamics. And again, we are moving towards Christmas and New Year, so that is normal. But it may feel this nostalgic, deep yearning to be closer, be it you're in the relationship or not. But there is time out. There's also this aspect of astro travel and dreams, where you're having synchronistic dreams together. But it might be, at the heart of the matter, you might be feeling there's a lack of compassion towards you or to them within the 3D nature of it. Again, it might be that something happened that was lacking in integrity, but, you're really meditating upon that. Let's have a look. Now, when it comes to the time out, how you feel about it in the 4D, you're really facing the shadow aspects within the time away from this person. It can be directly affecting you. There can be a mirroring going on. But it's making you actually feel those vibrations of how that directly impacts you. And with the lack of compassion transmuted to you or them, it made you lose hope. With the lack of integrity connected to the situation, you still haven't let go. And it may be letting go of the direct conflict of what happened, and that's where the delay is. So the 3D is what you're feeling and dealing with. The 4D for me, what I'm visually picking up on for you is, the blocks connected to it, the way your mind looks at things, the egoic state. Moving into the 5D, your higher self, what it wants you to know is movement is happening, okay? Changes are coming. In moving on with life, brings in and manifests in the situation the way it's intended to be. Also with the compassion and the, the losing hope, the releasing of hope is releasing the ego. It's trusting that it is so. Patience is required with yourself. So advice from Divine is patience towards self. That it's not just for you. Well, how should I say this? It's not just for them, it's for you. To evolve to a point you feel grounded and safe and okay with the connection and okay with what has happened in life. Even if you're in a connection, getting to a point where whatever had been triggering you externally and impacting you, that could be directly impacting your relationship, is removed and resolved. Now, when it comes to the lack of integrity within the connection or external to you, that impacted you, made you make decisions in a particular way, especially if you're single and you're looking at, relationships to a whole, letting go of that hurt without the need for the communication. Sometimes, we're looking for that closure, but it doesn't mean closure, the end, no love story. Closure, letting it go and healing. Many times we think we directly need that communication in order to have that closure. But many times when we are triggered and there has been an aspect of a lack of integrity, it would be like them coming to you and talking to a wall, because it would be on deaf ears and nothing would be enough. So when we actually absorb ourselves into that vibration and release it and purge it, we no longer need an external source to gain that peace, because they can't give us the peace after the fact the damage is done. But we can release it to a point where we can move on to a better day with them or without them. Now I'm going to look at the energy of the love interest with the earth, air, fire, water, depending upon who it is you're inquiring about. And you can pick up the frequency of where they're at and the way they're looking at it. Now, it may be with the earth signs, they feel you directly do not love them the way they are. And it might be miscommunication in the way that you're directly looking at each other. The key to it is through the heart and allowing this to transform naturally, especially since you got the patience card, and the not needing to have the communication and understanding you're safe within it regardless the spiritual connections there. Also looking at it from the point of view that that's perhaps what they experienced in their own life. So when it happened to you, or vice versa, however the energy connects, you're mirroring each other to a degree where you're dealing with that same factor. I do feel in astro travel, you guys are directly connecting. I feel there is a quietness between you, but you're definitely processing. Air signs, there can be a celebration coming up. It might be that you guys are directly going to connect in with them. And it can be of the new moon. Some of you may find out that you're pregnant. Others of you may be planning children or planning a future and the seed of an idea. Now, even if there's time out, you may actually be having time out with them after dealing with the shadow aspect. And there can be movement. So it can come around very quickly. And I am seeing many of you who aren't in connections and had been inquiring and meditating and manifesting this person back if they're an old energy. It can be happening very sharply towards the end of the year. This is a karmic tie-up. So they can come full 360 and be straight at you, and they'll be there before you know it. So the frequency between you is boding well, especially when I look at the cards. There is a potentiality for that to happen very quickly out of nowhere. Now, when it comes to the fire signs, I'll read them, then I'll come back to, I'll do earth at the moment. Wait a minute. Now, with the earth signs and you, I feel after the healing's done and you've let go of that, the sooner you let go of that hurt, the quicker it can transmute into them and they can let the guards down. I feel there is potential for movement, but I feel that's what's necessary between you because you're both really mirroring each other very, very heavily. Now, fire signs. They've really got a tame on their emotions, okay? They might be a little bit quiet at the moment and keeping things close to their chest, but it's not that they've left the building. It's more that they are taking hold of their emotions. They're in an assessment state. Again, this might be triggering you due to the fact of not knowing. And even in the timeout factor with them needing to be in hermit mode, it's not a bad thing. So don't take it personal, okay? It's more to do with them than you. It is triggering you, but you're going to gain the clarity through it, and there will be movement if you're patient without the communication, without having to know all the P's and Q's of what's going to happen. Water signs. Between you and them after this purge connected to you, doesn't mean to say they haven't done it. They will be very ready. There is a new chapter. Now we can go two ways, and I'm getting two energies from this. It's either this purge happens on your side or theirs, and the movement forward can be, but both of you are moving forward nevertheless, with or without each other. So there is movement, okay? And if this is the person you truly want, the door is still open. Keep doing the work. The ability for that and a clarifier is yes, there will be a new chapter. Love and light.